violating the UN Charter, the territorial integrity of Ukraine and its sovereignty, and then destroy the country's civilian infrastructure, energy infrastructure, kill civilians, and expect others to pay for it. And there has to be an economic cost to such flagrant violations of international law, and I see it very much in that context. And also, it will enable Ukraine, these assets, to survive and to sustain its economy and its society, because Europe is doing a hell of a lot in terms of underpinning Ukraine's economy at the moment, because we have to support Ukraine in defending its sovereignty and its territorial integrity from a budget perspective, from a humanitarian perspective, and that is what we are doing. So I don't believe there are implications for neutrality.
Ireland will act as a co-guarantor no matter what way.
Well, today the Commission are being invited to bring back proposals. There is a lot of detail involved in this and a lot of clarity required. But in terms of the principle of those who flagrantly abuse, international law, there has to be consequences as well. And this cannot be a repeating cycle where the big countries feel like Russia can go in and destroy a place and expect other people to pay for the reconstruction afterwards. It's a very serious issue, because that's a kind of a perverse incentive to keep doing the same thing all the time.
Just on the reparations loan, have you any sense, even a rough estimate of how much Ireland would have to guarantee its share? Are we talking several billion?
We don't at this stage, and I think there's a journey to go here yet. I mean, Europe has used the windfall elements of this, or the interest accrued and so on, already, and we want this war to end, and it needs to end. In the first instance, to preserve human life. I mean, I've had some horrific briefings in terms of the number of people who are being killed on a monthly basis in Ukraine. Russian soldiers, Ukrainian soldiers, civilians. It's a terrible war, and it needs to stop. And also, we have to clearly disincentivize this kind of behaviour, because it's costing everybody. I mean, the cost of this war we are already paying for in different ways. Increased energy prices. I mean, this is the first major war on the continent of Europe. That is having consequences.
Can you talk a little bit about Ireland's involvement in the war on the defence roadmap the EU has? Where will Ireland participate? Where will we get involved in joint procurement? Where will Ireland bring something to the table?
Well, we are already involved in joint procurement. The radar procurement, for example, will likely be a joint procurement. In some areas, we want to enhance interoperability between states, so joint procurement can be a factor there. In terms of the drone initiative, again, we are interested in developing drone technology from a defensive perspective. Drones will have multiple applications and use in protecting vital infrastructure, for example, and protecting our coastline. So there are multiple applications for drone technology, and so this drone initiative is something that we would want to participate in and learn from. But obviously each member state takes its own lead on this, and the text is very clear. Member states are taking the lead, but clearly the nature of technology is changing, and it would make sense for us in terms of critical undersea infrastructure that drone technology could be very important. Likewise, cyber security is very, very important. Our gas connectors with the UK. All of these are under threat, and unfortunately Russia is posing a threat to our economic infrastructure, to European economic infrastructure, and Ireland's as well. And we're not immune from this. We're not in some safe haven that will not be affected by any attacks on our subsea cables, because we're all connected in that, in terms of the technological connections. We're not on our own. We're part of a European connection, transatlantic and so on, and likewise in terms of energy connection. I'm chairing a meeting.
vedentekevää yhdistettynä tähän meidän 19 sanktiopakettiin, jossa muun muassa uusia keinoja päästään varjolaivasta suuntaan. Mä pidän tätä erittäin voimakkaana ja se tulee...
Obviously, all presidential elections, but two things I would say. We'll wait for the poll tomorrow. I think that's the real poll. That will be the real election. We'll see what will happen and we'll take it from there. Thank you.
Ainakaan ei ole tiedossa, milloin se pidettäisiin siihen päälle.
Morning, everyone. I think today will be quite a full agenda for us because we will discuss defense, Ukraine, climate change, defense, security, and probably a little bit of migration. So I suppose we really need today to have a decision on frozen and immobilized Russian assets because it looks like 19th sanction package has been approved. It's very important for us. As we see from the news, US as well first time has imposed very direct sanctions on Russia's energy sector. So it's important that we can do together as well our 19th sanction package and we can go forward with Russian immobilized assets which can be used for the needs Ukraine really have now for their military needs. I as well see it would be important that mainly we that those countries and all of us should probably guarantee that if something happens and the reparations will be paid to Ukraine, that we member states take as well the burden out of Belgium only, staying with question and legal questions which can raise afterwards, because I probably suppose Russia will have some applications in court or something, so we should be really very well prepared, and it looks like we are prepared. For defense, I think we, together with Netherlands and Croatia, our defense ministers are working as well for new technologies, for drone wall. But on defense, those steps that has been taken is very important. And omnibus should be decided on the parliament because that could give us much faster way how we can move forward with our security. For me, it's important that Europe acknowledges that hybrid threats is happening and hybrid migration as well, and migration instrumentalization is happening every day from Russia and Belarus to our borders. So therefore this discussion will be important for me. And for climate change, I hope we will not step into those mistakes, if I would say so, what we had on setting 2030 as goals on climate change, because we need really more flexibility and we need to see the real situation, how we can get to those goals which we have set for ourselves. So the goals are good ones, but we really need to assess are we having all the tools, and we cannot afford to lose Europe's competitiveness in all the situation.
Do you understand the concerns of some member states like Belgium concerning the frozen assets? Are there something you can do to address those concerns from some countries that have also assets in Russia?
Yes, I think we had an informal summit where Belgian Prime Minister set out those legal questions, and on a page we have many answers on legal matters for frozen assets, because we will never take out those assets, so it means we will not actually move them out, so it will not be confiscated. We will just guarantee that that amount which is on the Euroclear now will be given to Ukraine, but we will guarantee as other countries, member state countries, that in a case if Russia pays the reparation the war will be ending to Ukraine. Only then Ukrainians will need to pay back to Europeans. So I believe it's really good from the financial point outset now proposal as well from legal side.
The 19th sanction package has been approved.
sanctions statement. The US has also brought in its own sanctions. What's your response?
Yes, my response is that we should do it together. So it's very appropriate time today to as well agree on 19th sanction package. And yesterday, actually, our ministers has agreed. So if US imposes their sanctions, which has been publicly said, and we are going forward, it means for Russia there is less opportunity for them to get their financial needs, what they are already now feeling that financially for Russia is more stressful. The situation is more stressful because we know that energy sector is one of the most biggest income makers for Russia, and now we are seeing from our reports that Russia is struggling, and that's exactly what we wanted to achieve, that Russia doesn't have enough financial resources to go forward with the war, and they are squeezed or pushed to sit on a negotiation tables to end this war.
One question on climate. I would like to ask you, does climate protection have to take a back seat because of competitiveness? Is climate protection dead in the EU?
I think, as I mentioned before, there is goals what we have said before, and those goals are good ones. So still climate change is something we really are working on. But what we need to do, like you can go by car, by train, by plane, we need to decide how we will reach the destination where we're going. And if it's too pricey for our citizens to go with to the direction we have set for ourselves, 2030, 2040, we really need to give some flexibility for member states to work with their societies and to find the better way how we can reach our goals on climate change. From East? From Middle East? We are now, like I'm a Latvian Prime Minister, we have cut our energy sector, which was fully dependent from Russia already for quite a long time since the war started in Ukraine. We are buying something from United States and something from our European partners. We'll see who will be able to deliver energy. I think now it's cancelled, and we'll see. Anyway, Europe needs to be prepared for Budapest summit because we know we will meet today President Zelensky. It's very important that we can give him all the support, and if he goes to the summit with the decision of reparation loans already on a table, I believe he will be much stronger to enter those negotiations if those negotiations will take place, because we don't see from the actions of Russian side that Putin really wants to end the war. So we have to take it into account. Therefore, European countries have to do everything what's in our power to do to support Ukraine and to push Russia to the negotiation table together, with the United States. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ξεκινήσω με το χθεσινό δείπνο που είχαμε με τον πρόεδρο της Αιγύπτου μέσα στο πλαίσιο της πρώτης συνόδου που έγινε ποτέ ανάμεσα στην Ευρωπαϊκή Ένωση και την Αίγυπτο. Θέλω να θυμίσω ότι η χώρα μας μαζί με την Ελλάδα και κάποια άλλα μεσογειακά κράτη εδώ και καιρό υποστήριζαν την ανάγκη αυτής της στρατηγικής συνεργασίας με την Αίγυπτο, κάτι που μετουσιώθηκε σε πρώτο στάδιο με την επίσκεψη της Επιτροπής, της Πρόεδρου της Επιτροπής, την οποία συνόδευα μαζί με άλλους ηγέτες στην Αίγυπτο το 2024, και χθες είχαμε την πρώτη σύνοδο, και είναι πολύ σημαντικό το γεγονός ότι γίνεται σε αυτή την συγκυρία, σε μια συγκυρία που χθες ανάμεσα σε πολλά άλλα ο πρόεδρος της Αιγύπτου ζήτησε την ενεργό εμπλοκή της Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης στην εφαρμογή του σχεδίου του Προέδρου των Ηνωμένων Πολιτειών για το θέμα της Γάζας. Και ακριβώς μέσα σε αυτό το πλαίσιο είχα την ευκαιρία να ενημερώσω για το σχέδιο της Κυπριακής Δημοκρατίας, ένα σχέδιο το οποίο έγινε μετά από συνεννόηση με την Πρόεδρο της Ευρωπαϊκής Επιτροπής, με τα Ηνωμένα Αραβικά, με Αίγυπτο, με την Ιορδανία, με το Ισραήλ. Και σήμερα θα έχω την ευκαιρία στο πλαίσιο του Ευρωπαϊκού Συμβουλίου να το παρουσιάσω σε λεπτομέρεια, ζητώντας από τους συναδέλφους μου από την Ευρωπαϊκή Ένωση να υιοθετήσει το σχέδιο της Κυπριακής Δημοκρατίας ως σχέδιο της Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης. Και χαίρομαι γιατί και τώρα στο Ευρωπαϊκό Λαϊκό Κόμμα είχα την ευκαιρία να αναφερθώ στο σχέδιο, στην πρόταση της Κυπριακής Δημοκρατίας, η οποία, επαναλαμβάνω, έγινε μετά από συνεννόηση και με την Πρόεδρο της Επιτροπής. Μέσα σε αυτό το πλαίσιο είναι σημαντικό, και αναφέρθηκα και χθες βράδυ αλλά και σήμερα το πρωί, το γεγονός ότι έχει υιοθετηθεί το σύμφωνο για την Μεσόγειο. Είναι σημαντικό ότι κατά τη διάρκεια της Κυπριακής Προεδρίας θα εργαστούμε έτσι ώστε αυτό το σύμφωνο να μετουσιωθεί από ένα κείμενο σε συγκεκριμένες ενέργειες προς την ευρύτερη περιοχή και της Μεσογείου αλλά και της ευρύτερης Μέσης Ανατολής, δείχνοντας στην πράξη ότι η Ευρωπαϊκή Ένωση έχει λόγο και ρόλο στην περιοχή. Από εκεί και πέρα γνωρίζετε ότι είμαστε λιγότερες από 70 μέρες από την ανάληψη της Προεδρίας του Συμβουλίου της Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης. Ο στόχος μας, πέραν των όσων έχω προαναφέρει, είναι να ενισχύσουμε τη στρατηγική αυτονομία της Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης σε όλους τους τομείς. Και όλα τα θέματα που έχουμε σήμερα στην ατζέντα του Συμβουλίου ακριβώς αποσκοπούν σε αυτό το σκοπό. Όταν λέμε ενίσχυση της στρατηγικής αυτονομίας σε όλους τους τομείς, μιλάμε στην άμυνα, στην ασφάλεια, στην ενέργεια, στις πρώτες ύλες, στην καταπολέμηση της γραφειοκρατίας, στην ψηφιακή μετάβαση, στα θέματα που απασχολούν τους Ευρωπαίους ηγέτες. Και χαίρομαι, τους Ευρωπαίους πολίτες, και χαίρομαι γιατί σήμερα, για πρώτη φορά ενδεχομένως, στο Ευρωπαϊκό Συμβούλιο θα συζητήσουμε το θέμα της στέγασης. Ένα πανευρωπαϊκό πρόβλημα, ένα θέμα που κάποιοι ισχυρίζονται ότι είναι περισσότερο αρμοδιότητα των κρατών μελών, αλλά από τη στιγμή που απασχολεί όλα τα ευρωπαϊκά κράτη και με αφορμή τις συζητήσεις που γίνονται για το πολιετές δημοσιονομικό πλαίσιο, αναμένουμε από την Επιτροπή να παρουσιάσει, να αναπτύξει το επόμενο διάστημα ένα χρηματοδοτικό εργαλείο το οποίο μπορεί να αξιοποιηθεί από όλα τα κράτη-μέλη έτσι ώστε να αντιμετωπιστεί αυτή η μεγάλη, επαναλαμβάνω, ευρωπαϊκή πρόκληση που λέγεται στεγαστικό. Τελευταίο σημείο που θέλω να αναφέρω, θέλω να χαιρετήσω το γεγονός ότι τα θέματα της άμυνας και της ασφάλειας συνεχίζουν να είναι ψηλά στην ατζέντα των συζητήσεων μας, θα είναι και σήμερα στο Ευρωπαϊκό Συμβούλιο. Χαίρομαι γιατί η θέση μας σε σχέση με τη συμμετοχή μη κρατών μελών στο χρηματοδοτικό εργαλείο SAFE έχει υιοθετηθεί. Καμία χώρα, τρίτη χώρα, η οποία κατέχει εδάφη ή απειλεί ή και απειλεί την ασφάλεια κρατών μελών, δεν μπορεί επουδενή λόγο να συμμετάσχει, να αξιοποιήσει τα όποια χρηματοδοτικά εργαλεία της Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης στον τομέα της άμυνας και της ασφάλειας. Η ανταπόκριση ήταν πολύ θετική και χαίρομαι γιατί κατά τη διάρκεια της τριμερούς συνάντησης της Προέδρου της Επιτροπής, του Προέδρου του Συμβουλίου με τον Πρόεδρο της Αιγύπτου, η Πρόεδρος της Επιτροπής παρουσίασε τις κυπριακές προτάσεις, τις δικές μας προτάσεις ως ευρωπαϊκές προτάσεις, και αυτό που πρέπει να γίνει τώρα είναι να εργαστούμε έτσι αυτές να υλοποιηθούν σε συνδυασμό και με άλλες προτάσεις που υπάρχουν, έτσι ώστε το σχέδιο του Αμερικανού Προέδρου να εφαρμοστεί. Γιατί σε περίπτωση που δεν εφαρμοστεί αυτό το σχέδιο, δεν περάσουμε στην επόμενη φάση. Αντιλαμβάνεστε τους κινδύνους που υπάρχουν με μια νέα κρίση στην περιοχή και ποιοι στο τέλος της ημέρας θα υποστούν και τις επιπτώσεις. Δεν μπορούμε ως Ευρωπαϊκή Ένωση να συζητούμε, για παράδειγμα, το μεταναστευτικό, να είναι ένα θέμα που απασχολεί όλους, να είναι ένα θέμα που απασχολεί τους πολίτες μας, και την ίδια στιγμή να μην ασχολούμαστε με την περιοχή της ευρύτερης Μέσης Ανατολής, που ένας σημαντικός αριθμός μεταναστών έρχονται από την περιοχή.
Posso
αφορά το 19ο πακέτο, όντως έχει υιοθετηθεί. Υπάρχουν οι αμερικανικές κυρώσεις που αφορούν κυρίως τον τομέα της ενέργειας και έχουν υποβληθεί προτάσεις από ηγέτες κρατών μελών της Ευρωπαϊκής Ένωσης που μπορούν να αναπληρώσουν την ενέργεια η οποία βάσει των κυρώσεων των ΗΠΑ δεν μπορεί να διοχετευτεί στην Ευρώπη. Από εκεί και πέρα, όσον αφορά το ραντεβού, είχα ρωτηθεί και πριν λίγες μέρες στην Κροατία όπου βρισκόμουν, η συνάντηση του Αμερικανού Προέδρου με τον Ρώσο Πρόεδρο, αν η συζήτηση αφορά το Ουκρανικό, θεωρώ ότι ο Πρόεδρος της Ουκρανίας πρέπει να είναι παρόν, γιατί δεν μπορεί να συζητείται το μέλλον της χώρας του χωρίς την παρουσία του ιδίου. The sanctions that we introduced until now, they were effective. If some associate member states, some countries that they want to become members of the European Union, they were following the sanctions of the European Union, for sure our decisions and the sanctions will be much more effective. Ευχαριστώ πολύ. Δεν έγινε οποιαδήποτε συζήτηση στο περιθώριο των συζητήσεων του Ευρωπαϊκού Λαϊκού Κόμματος για την διαδικασία ψηφοφορίας στις κατεχόμενες περιοχές. Είχα την ευκαιρία με κάποιους ομολόγους μου σε διμερές επίπεδο να συζητήσουμε αυτή την εξέλιξη. Αντιλαμβάνεστε ότι όλοι μας θα κριθούμε στο τραπέζι των διαπραγματεύσεων. Να είστε καλά, ευχαριστώ πολύ.
So today we have a long day ahead, a few very important points. First, we are going to adopt the 19th package of sanctions, which has a lot of important points there regarding energy, regarding financial institutions. It is all meant to deprive Russia from the means to fund this war. We also are very happy about the signals we get from America regarding the sanctions regarding Russia. I think it's important sign of strength that we are aligned here. And of course we're going to discuss the reparations loan as well. There are some issues still that we need to cover, but I think it's important. The fundamental message is that Russia is responsible for the damages caused in Ukraine and has to pay for those damages, and the frozen assets we have, the reparations loan, on the basis of that for Ukraine to defend itself. It sends three very important signals. One is to Ukraine that we are supporting them to defend themselves. The other one to Russia, that they can't outlast us. And the third one to America, to show that we are taking very important steps ourselves. And of course today we are also going to discuss our own defense. What more can we do? Here for Europe it is important that we see defense as joint value, and we also do joint projects to defend our region. Thank you.
What's your political message for Moldova? You have a political message for Moldova because we know it's not.
Moldova, we have recently seen good election results showing that Moldova is on the path for Europe and European accession, and of course we need to do also steps from our side.
On the reparations, do you think you will overcome the concerns Belgium has today? And are countries ready to provide those guarantees, the joint guarantees that Belgium is looking for?
Yes, the worries are about the solidarity regarding the risks, and everybody agrees that no country should bear the risks or this burden alone. So if we need to come up with a mechanism to make sure that this is the case and Belgium gets the security that they need, then we need to draft this and work on this.
How likely do you think a proposal like that's going to go down?
Everybody agrees, so we need to come up with the right way to do, right solution for this.
Upcoming election take place in different situations now. Do you expect that will be different from before?
Of course, every election is a vote for the country's future. So it is up to those people to say what kind of future they need for the country.
Time goes very fast and people die. How about to try